Hello guys, welcome back on my YouTube channel. I'm back again with another video. So I've been wanting to make a video about intelligence itself is like knowing yourself is intelligent itself. What do I mean by that? I think it's something that you can just tell by it because it's so simple. You don't need to put so much into it. It's just that in knowing yourself is intelligent by itself. Because why? When you're walking your own journey, you're gonna meet a lot of people who's gonna try to tell you who you are. What is it? What is that? What is this? You are this and that and this and that, and you lacking no, like, I don't want to put it as some sort of identity, but sometimes, like, when we're growing up, we tend to want to know where we exactly belonging. We want to know our identity. We want to know which tribe that we actually resonate with, why we feel the way we feel. We just want to analyze everything, which is okay, because soul searching is something that is very important to ourselves. The minute you stop soul searching, I feel like it's a minute to you allow yourself to die. The minute you stop reading, it's a minute to stop living. Like, you life itself is about living, and it's about you finding out who you are. Sometimes those kind of moment whereby you like, oh wow, this is what I am. It feels like aha moment, because why? It's part of yourself that you didn't recognize. Probably you just stand on, or probably you didn't put much effort into it to know this is who you are, or whatsoever. Because sometimes we tend to not all of us came from environment that is actually nurturing, um that want us to be the best, not environment that want us to be our authentic self. Sometimes we have to go through a journey whereby we are our authentic self, because a lot of people find your light intimate, like, other people find your light intimate, like your light intimidate them. They want to shine it off. They want it to be something that is not recognized. It's something that a lot of people want to not to be seen with it, because they wish they have it but they don't have it. So it can be a lot of way whereby they're trying to make sure that your authenticity, you being yourself, you showing off as a most like a light worker, a musician, a painter, like, it can be anything. Like, the weight of your soul make them insecure. You don't have to have like a lot of money in your bank account to make other people insecure. Just you being yourself, you being your authentic self, you having a values that you have, you having principles that you have, it will make other motherfuckers be pissed off. Because why? They lost their divinity. They are lost people. Whenever they're lost, some of them know that they can attain back their divinity, because we all have divinity within ourselves, but they choose to do what? They choose to abandon that. They choose to throw that out, because they've been told, like, a lot who, like, for example, like, I've seen like a lot of people in the public figure who actually lost. They're so fucking lost. Like, it's so painful to see, because most of them, they identify themselves with money that they have in their bank account. They identify themselves with the brand that they created. They identify themselves as, like, all of that. They just see themselves as entrepreneur. They don't see themselves as a soul who's actually attaining whatever that they're attaining, whether they through a being a YouTuber, you being whatsoever, a actor or a comedian, whatever career that you choose, that you feel like it's career that you right now currently. Because the thing is, with career, they can change. You can change. You can be anything. You constantly revenge yourself. You constantly putting yourself in position whereby you're starting over. You constantly putting yourself that, knowing that this is no longer working for me. So it's something you're constantly changing. Career is not something like, okay, this is my career now, I'm trying to stick to it. Maybe one day you're gonna be a musician, but now you're branding out to something new, like probably being an actor, or maybe like later on probably branding out to be a writer. Like, you don't know. Like, we don't need to define ourselves to the point that we limit ourselves, because the more we define ourselves, it's the more we allowing ourselves to be restrict ourselves, because defining yourself, I don't know who said this, but defining yourself, it's limiting yourself. It's something like that, because the more you define yourself, the more you put yourself, even including identity. So like knowing yourself, like for example, like I've met a lot of people who are projecting. They wanted so badly to be, to like they wanted me so badly to be like them, to the point that they'd be like, uh I they'll be like, you don't know that, like you do that too, like you do that, like, oh please, like they would try by all means to make me feel like I'm supposed to be like them. And some of them, they view me as a perfect, which is weird as fuck. Like, how can I be perfect? Like, who's perfect? There's no person who's actually perfect. It's just that the fact that you see other people perfect, I think, I don't know why, but it's a weird way. Even like, I don't understand why people view other people as perfect. It's just that we tend to like it, like as individual, we tend to look at the positive side of a person rather than the negative side. So that's the only time that I actually view someone as perfect. But some people will be so intimidated by your personality, you're intimidated by your whatsoever. Because for me, as much as I'm introvert, I know that I can be extroverted with the right people. People who I can be myself with. People like I can be so much, like I can be goofy as fuck. Like, just because I'm introvert, it doesn't mean like I'm just gonna be like a wet chicken or wet dog. Like, I don't need to be like that. The reason I was in a position where I was a wet, I don't know why I said wet blanket, but where I have to be wet chicken or wet whatsoever, wet animal that look weird when it's wet, it's because I was allowing other people to tell me that my life is supposed to be something that is supposed to be dim. It was because I was surrounded by people who are not supposed to be I was surrounded by people who I was not meant to be surrounded by. As much as they were part of my life, I'm grateful that I actually met them, because I wouldn't have known how horrible it is to be around people, how lonely it is to be surrounded by people but you feel alone. I wouldn't have known bullies, how far bullies can go. But I'm not saying just because I know that, it's just that I stop wanting to see the good in other people more than like anything. I know that, okay, we are people, sometimes we have the good and the bad side, but most of the time, if you're operating more on your shadow self, I just disappear. Look, I don't like that energy. For recently, like there was this child. Sometimes I just practice yoga most of the time, like in the grass without using yoga mat or anything. So most of the time, kids always gravitate toward me. So like I've been doing like yoga like for a long time, but recently, like, I've been not consistent. Since from August last year, I've been not consistent. We just do yoga whenever, like, also because I didn't want to. I felt like I was restricting myself. So I wanted to do other things rather than always yoga, 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 yoga. So I'm just like, sometimes when I feel like jogging, I jog. Sometimes when I feel like walking, I walk, hiking, like whatsoever, yoga, whatsoever. So I just don't want to like be like that. Sometimes just being still, uh meditating itself, I just prefer that. But I know that most of the time it helps to do movement more than like the still yoga, because like still meditation, I just like, for me, I prefer movement meditation rather than any kind, because when I'm walking I feel like I'm meditating. It works for me. So as yoga, because it's a movement of the body. So all of that. So I was like, I tend to like, I used to like, some kids wanna join me, and then I would do yoga with them whatsoever. And this girl, and this young one, the young, like the daughter, and she said to me, when she started yoga, she didn't want to do yoga as herself. It was more like a competition. In her spirit, she saw it as a competition. And as she saw it as a competition, she wanted to beat everyone around, even including me. I was like, okay, I just knew the spirit, her spirit is troubled. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna ignore that. I'm just gonna focus. These kids were actually happy, like their spirit was so happy. And whenever they're not able to do a certain pose, they, like, you can tell that they're not bothered, but this person is actually bothered, this child. And she did some like pause, and then she was able to do it, like, because she was very competitive. Like, I was okay, but I knew that her competitiveness, it was not like, I just don't want to, like, it was not a healthy competition. So I was like, and then after like some time she noticed that she can't do that pose anymore, because like she didn't do yoga consistently. And she came up to me, so like, um like she said some mean things, like, uh stupid yoga, blah 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 blah. And you know why she did that? I had her grandma telling her that, like, her grandma is a very competitive person. Like, you can do that. Like, you know, you're not supposed to be wind up. Like, you're not supposed to have other people taking up. Like, she have this competitive energy, and she had like, their card is closed off. Like, it's bad. Like, you can tell. Like, you know what? She came up like with stupid yoga, blah 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 blah. I was not even like phased by whatever she's come out in her mouth. I was kind of like, okay, like, I just felt pity. Like, I felt so pity. So it's like that whenever people are trying to tell you who you are, you get bored. Like, you get bored whenever people are trying to tell you who you are. When you know who you are, you be like, mm, mm, and you're like, okay. And they can tell that you know who you are, and you'll be like, okay. You're not bothered, you're not phased whatever they coming, the attack or whatsoever. You, because sometimes attack not gonna be like, like, yeah, aggressive and stuff. Some people can make it so smoothly to the point that you won't even see that you are being attacked until you be like, fuck. For example, I'm a late reactor. Sometimes I'll be like, what the motherfucker tried, like, you'll be so triggered later on, like, what did this motherfucker try to say? Like, what that motherfucker tried to say to me? What like, you will asking yourself, what is their intention to be so mad? Like, what the fuck? Like, because the thing is, when your spirit is at peace, a lot of people who are not at peace will try by all means to make you not be at peace, because they don't, how dare you be at peace while I'm not at peace? How dare you? We are all on earth. We all go through these things. Why your spirit is still at peace? How dare, like, they make it like it's something that is not possible to be at peace, which is weird, because like, you can be anything. Like, like, you can be anything. Like, even if like, it can be a simple thing as peace, because a lot of people are not at peace. They can have a lot of things in their life, but spirit is not at peace. You just know when someone is not at peace. And the fact that you have to always surround yourself with people, always having a way of escaping your reality, whether through whatever that you choose to do, or it can be like simple thing, like, constantly eating, like, eating a lot, watching a lot. It can be drugs, it can be anything. It's just that a lot of way we try to cope, we try to escape our own reality. So the thing is, with people, when they don't know who they are, they tend to project a lot. Not only that, they find other people who know who they are. Like, in their head, they believe that it's because you think you're better than them, but which is not true. Like, I know that I have a lot of things to do. I know that I have to, like, I know I don't know anything. Like, I, like, most of the time I'm like, wow, I don't know anything. Like, my depth is like, okay, I need to work on this. I need to upgrade this. Like, even my English, I know that, like, my English is just not that, like, you know. But people would be like, we take that time when we are trying to investigate me, when we are trying to attack me. Use that time to be better. To use that time to invest in yourself. Like, for example, whenever you're trying to attack me, maybe just take a book, read probably like 3 pages. You will see how calming that shit is. Even if it's not 3 pages, just do 10 pages. You will see, you would, your spirit will be different compare where you wanted to just be a date to other people. So knowing yourself, it's something that is very important, you know. It's so important. It's intelligent itself. The more you know yourself, it's intelligent itself, because nobody can tell you who you are. Because the more, like, when you don't know yourself, a lot of people will tell you who you are. A lot of people will, you'll be just like a bubblegum. A bubblegum, you can just shape it in whatever form. Whenever you like, you chew it to the point that it has no sugar anymore, you can just manipulate it in any way. Same thing with her. Hair is something that you can manipulate. You can manipulate it in any manner. So when you go into the salon, you just know I need this kind of style. It's like that. Whenever, just think about it, like having people who actually manipulate you every day. You don't even know who you are. They're telling you who you are, but it has nothing to do with you. You can tell this person they are hateful, even if you're not even aware they're hate, because not all people are actually hateful. I'll be like hateful like at the beginning or whatsoever, or maybe like being hateful. Like some people will come in a most soft way. Like I've never came across okay, I came across a lot of narcissistic people who were smiling in my face, but I know that they're devil as fuck with their eyes. And two, I can read energy. I can read your energy. Sometimes I will act like I don't see that. I will act like I will just act up like I'm like, oh, like I'll act like I'll act so stupid. Like it helps. Like it helps to act stupid sometimes. Like just like, okay, oh, like you act like you don't know shit, and it's okay. But obvious, you're not supposed to allow those people. You're not supposed to give them your number. Like that's so shitty. So yeah, knowing yourself is very important. Like it's one of the most thing that is actually important. Knowing how you actually need, for example, I know that whenever I'm bothered by a lot of things, I need to withdraw. I need to do this. I just know that I need to stay away from people. Whenever my energy is, I know that as much as I can be in a loud place, I can't take it like for 2 hours. I just need to be indoor. I like, because I know this is not the energy for me. Or maybe it's people who are constantly chatty, and I can feel it now. I'm getting dizzy, or maybe I'm having headache, or maybe I'm so whatsoever. I just know this environment is not for me. Knowing that okay, this environment is not for me, it's enough to know that this is not for me. Knowing that I'm boring, and since I'm boring, I don't need to try to be likable. I don't need to, like, I have a courage to be disliked most of the my time. I spend my life alone. Like I spend most of my time alone. I don't give a fuck who's in what. Like I just take my energy with me. When I'm entertaining drama, I know like damn, I need to work on myself. Like what the fuck, you know? I can tell like I this is not it, like something that I need to be on. Let me just think. Having people telling you everything, having people telling you the hairstyle. When I started my love journey, I had a lot of people who were bitter. How? How come are you bitter? Like it was the first erection where, how come you bitter? Like our locks are for nonsense people, like especially people who are actually religious, and they hate locks. Okay, it's okay to hate something, but I don't understand why me having locks has something to do with you. Like when I started my locks, and I was the first, I'm the first female. I'm actually the first person who actually had locks. In like in the family, like in my blood, I'm the first. I just rebel like that. I'm a troublesome. Like I can tell you that, but my troublesome spirit or my rebel spirit is not about, oh, I just wanna be that bitch. Like, I just wanna like make other people mad. No, it's not like that. It's just me being authentic to myself. It's just me rebelling, not agreeing with tradition that actually been done at home. Whatsoever, because I know my spirit don't like that shit. So when I started my locks, a lot of people in my business, like blah 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 blah. We starting locks. A lot of people were discouraging, blah blah blah, and even sometimes strangers. Because when you're setting locks, sometimes they say there's the actually ugly stage. People call it ugly stage. But like, and sometimes I remember I was actually triggered by that woman because she was not like, I knew that my friend was a mean as fuck. So like, it was a stranger. She like, I was in a supermarket buying something and strolling and shit. She was like, oh, you look so ugly. to be honest, I was triggered because at the time I think I was actually, because when I started my log journey, it has brought a lot of insecurities, like a lot of insecurities, and I was healing them. And like my log journey was the best thing that I ever done. So it was triggering because at the time I was feeling down. Okay, but you know, like cutting them off, hell no, like hell no. I knew like hell no. So I went about wrapping them until I was like, fuck it, I'm done wrapping them, hiding them for what? So you know, it's like that. You're gonna meet a lot of people who's gonna try to tell you that, well, you're not cut off for business. You like a business. Just think about you. You being a dancer. Look how fat you are. Like whatsoever, trying a new diet, they discourage you. Some of them go to the extent, like for example, if you're going vegan or vegetarian, or maybe like what is it, I don't know what is, I forgot the diet whereby you're just eating like like whereby you are eating seafood. You just do seafood, and then people will do research. But look how you're gonna end up. Look like the page is like the audacity to just do research on whatever someone is trying to do. Probably whatever that you're trying to do, it's something that they know that you want to do. Like whenever you're trying to eat healthy, people will have opinion about it. The thing is with healthy, like for me, I believe healthy, eating healthy, it's you eating a balanced meal, you including veggies in your meals. It doesn't matter what diet you go about, whether it's a vegan, a vegetarian, because there's no one way into a clean diet. And whatever diet it actually works for, because some people went vegan because they got sick and they have to go vegan. Some people it's just their choice, and some people go vegetarian because of their choices too. Like you can go like whatever diet. There are plenty of actually diet, because when I mean diet, it's a food that you actually eat. It's not you limiting your food. It's not you going like whatsoever. But for me now, I don't know what phase I'm at with my food, because what happened is I tend to sometimes eat twice a day or sometimes once a day. What? Like it's like that. I don't know. Like I've never been that kind of a person, but at the same time, I can see why. Sometimes it's helpful. Like since I've been trying to actually fast, it helps. But for me, I don't go like a whole day fasting. It's more like a few hours fasting, or maybe like I'll eat once a day, and then the whole day it helps. Like can feel my energy being different. So when it's come to dieting, like you just have to go with whatever that works for you. But I'm not gonna talk about diet, but I'm just talking about you making decision for yourself and having people feeling better about it. Why will, like some people even get mad the fact that you rejected their help? Why did you get, like, you know what, the thing is with people who are shitty is, why would someone get angry that you rejecting their help? So you need to ask yourself question, because they know what they wanted to do with you. They knew that they wanted to use you, but you are refusing that. So guys, know yourself before anyone tell you who you are.